What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So what we are hearing now is relief must come now. We can't wait. We know right now that whether it comes to the stimulus package, the new COVID relief bill, whatever, the relief must come right now. Many lawmakers have stated that more must be done. They say the American people are without affordable housing. The American people need quality, affordable, and reliable childcare. And we need to have peace of mind when it comes to taking care of this climate issue. Well, at least that's what they're saying. But here's what I can tell you. Affordable housing could be a long ways away. The main reason why is because even though lawmakers want to include it into the Build Back Better Act or whatever bill we see coming up, this doesn't mean our supply chain will actually allow this to happen. And this is the reason why I want to bring this up, is because in a recent Wall Street Journal report, they are saying that the supply chain is actually experiencing many delays on construction materials. We are seeing new home buyers move into homes that aren't even completely finished. I've actually seen this with my own eyes, and it's somewhat concerning. Some are actually moving into homes without garage doors. Some don't have all the fixtures and finishes, and many don't even have flooring. They don't even have flooring. And the reason this is such a big issue is because contractors are having to use, instead of their luxury finishes or flooring or whatever, they're having to use builder grade materials. And so now these new homes are taking builder grade materials off the market. There's no more left in some cases. And when contractors do this, now instead of using builder grade materials in a new home for, let's say, a first time home buyer, something that is less expensive, instead, they are not putting luxury goods in there because they don't have any of those either. They're having to wait. So a lot of these more affordable homes, they're not hitting the market because they have to wait. They don't have the home built yet. And that's creating an issue. This also plays a huge role in the affordable housing market because there is no affordable housing. The cheaper homes are selling for much more because they have to put higher finishes in them. But this is also one of the reasons why many experts believe that lawmakers aren't pushing for affordable housing in the next bill, because even if they did, we're going to experience more delays into the future. So why fight? Why negotiate on something that's just going to be delayed even further? So this brings me to my next point. Congress is trying to fight for families. We know this. This was supposed to be called the American Families Plan. But here's what I can tell you. Many families are looking at Congress to see if more relief will actually come to those who are experiencing a hardship due to COVID. We now know that Nancy Pelosi is actually open to the idea of passing a bill with additional COVID relief, but we don't know exactly how much she's open to or if she's being pressured from progressives to get more included into this bill. For example, I do know that progressives want to see parts of the Build Back Better Act included into a COVID relief bill. We do know that according to multiple reports, the White House will be asking Congress to provide some more relief for COVID. However, and to help get through this pandemic. However, we don't know to what extent. Could this be an additional $10 billion, $20 billion? Could it be $100 billion? Or will progressives jump in and try to hike this up to maybe $300 to $500 billion? We don't know. It's possible. And we do know that chances are they're going to try to merge the Build Back Better Act and pieces of it into a COVID relief bill and have a bigger package. But we'll see what happens there. We do know that we will have more insights this week because the House is back in session, the Senate will be back, and hopefully we get some answers. Now, I don't know what from the Build Back Better Act progressives are planning or want to include into this COVID relief bill, but from what I can tell you is, right now, if this is only for COVID relief, progressives can argue the fact that COVID is causing more people to go on unemployment. So for that, just so that you know, many people who have young children and they're going to go, let's say, and do remote schooling, they're having to quit their jobs in order to help watch and educate them. I addressed this earlier on today. I'll link to that video down in the description box below so you can check that out as well. But this is causing a lot of those people to dip into their savings in order to survive. However, the argument that somebody made today is what happens when those people They don't have any more savings to dip into because they used it all during the first year and a half of this pandemic. Then what? This is why, according to multiple reports, progressives can actually argue this fact that we need to provide more benefits to families for childcare and for, can the parent who used to work, can they get unemployment because they are helping not only take care of, but educate their child now that schools are potentially closing or are just going to be shut for maybe a month or two, right? We heard that. We saw that before. That yes, parents, if you had to quit your job and you were going to educate your child, stay home with them, then yes, you could collect unemployment benefits. This was under the previous bill, under the CARES Act that was passed back in 2020. So again, we're a little bit a ways away from that, but those could come back. What we do know is that we can't rely on savings. But progressives also argue that childcare should be included here. And what about money for seniors? Who's going to pay? We know seniors are paying more for everything. But in many cases, they can't go to work. So who's going to help them pay for these things? We do know that restaurants are actually being considered for additional funding as well. But a bill that starts out being very small could easily balloon up with all the different agendas that lawmakers have and are planning to put into whatever bill comes forward. We haven't heard a lot from progressives. We do know AOC, she did test positive today for COVID, so she is probably not going to be in the House this coming week, but she will be back. But what I can tell you is that this week's going to be a big week, because this is the first time both the House and the Senate will be back in session. My guess is we're going to have a lot more discussions. My guess is Senator Joe Manchin, he is going to have some negotiations very soon. He may not be partaking in any negotiations at this point, but come this week, I guarantee he does. But here's something else I want to bring to your attention because this is actually considered good news. According to health experts, we could actually be out of this Omicron surge in the matter of the next couple of weeks. Experts believe that right now, the peak of cases is going to come around the 25th of January. We were originally expecting that in 3 days on January 12th, that would be the peak. However, the expectation is we are still riding it up. We're averaging more than 700,000 cases over 7 days, which is not great. But they say this might just be the peak of things. We might be riding it up, but then we could see a massive drop come February. And before we finally bottom out, we could go all the way up in January, see a massive drop in February, somewhat bottom out, and then really bottom out in March. So, according to reports, if Congress plans on requesting more COVID funds, if lawmakers plan to package a COVID relief bill with parts of the Build Back Better Act, they have to do that quickly. Experts say their time is limited, and they expect if something is going to be done in the next couple of weeks, then stuff has to happen this week. So, according to reports, the chances of something happening after, about February, that's very small. Because if we see COVID cases ramp up, completely drop, according to experts, they say it would be almost impossible for lawmakers to pass an additional relief bill because we might not need it if we are already coming down. So that's what's being discussed at this point, but we will see what happens moving forward. Like I said, this week will be a big week. So as I know more, I promise I'll come back on, share all latest news and updates. Again, just want to thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, go ahead, hit that like button. It really does help out the channel. Also, consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.